जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरा वनचारी जमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव जय राधा माधव राधा माधव जय राधा माधव जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय गौरानिताय जय गौरानिताय गौरानिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। नित्य गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य सतरहत श्रीमद अभय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की। ISKCON will be founder Acharya's Divine Grace Prabhupada ki। जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य सतरहत श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। श्री श्री राधा माधव ललिता विशाखा सखी की। श्री श्री जानकी जानकी वल्लभ लक्ष्मण हनुमान की। श्री श्री ताई गौर सुंदर की। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to the Assembled devotees, all glories to the Assembled devotees, all glories to the Assembled devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति पदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरा श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णा चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादं सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिष्ये नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today is the concluding day or the last session of our discussion on the topic A Second Chance, the lessons from the life of Ajamila. So yesterday we concluded on the subject of how lust can make a qualified person fall down from his position. And also discussed in detail about how to overcome lust desires. So today we will be discussing the conversation between Jamadutas and Vishnudutas. And before we start on that subject, we have to discuss how that event occurred, where Vishnudutas and Jamadutas came together. So Ajamila, he was a qualified Brahmana. And because of the bad association, looking at a unfavorable situation, being that situation, Ajamila could not control his sensation and he became victim of that sensation. And what was the sin? A prostitute and a low-class man were intimately associating with each other. Ajamila tried to control, trying to remind him that this is not a good thing, but still he could not control. Because when mind is disturbed, intelligence does not work. So he could not control his mind and senses, and he invited that prostitute to his house. He married that prostitute and continued his life enjoying that prostitute. And he spent all his money to satisfy that prostitute. And he begot 10 sons from that prostitute. And he involved in all kinds of sinful activities. And Prabhupada says that when we have illicit sex, then all other sinful activities follow with that. And he said, Prabhupada says in the purport, that when we are having illicit sexual connections, then we have to have a lot of money. And in order to earn that money, we have to do so many sinful activities. Just like Ajamila did. He stole money, he plundered money, he murdered people, he harassed people. Whatever was possible for him, he did that to earn money and to satisfy the prostitute. And also he had a very big family, not a small family. Maintaining a family is not so cheap. So having a family of 10 children, 10 sons. And while doing that, he forgot that he was becoming old. And he became 88 years old. And that time also he had the last son, the 10th son, at that age. And Prabhupada points out in the purport that we should not continue our Grihastha life till the end of our life. So death came, but he was not ready for that because he was completely absorbed in family life and sense enjoyment, and he was very attached to the last son because he was a small child and people get easily attracted to the small child. We know that Bharat Maharaj attracted to a small deer because innocence attracts the attention. So small child, small animal, they are innocent, so that attracts the attention of people. So that's why it is recommended at a certain age, at the age of 50, Prabhupada said, one should leave home and focus his attention to something else. And what is that something else? that something else is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore, we should not continue our journey in this body, in family life, till the last breath. There is a system. From the age of 5 to 25 is brahmacharya training. From 25 to 50, opposite 45, maximum 50, is grihastha life. And after that, vanaprastha. And if someone is a brahmana, then he should enter into sannyas order of life at the age of 75. So this is the system given by Krishna in the form of varnashram dharma. But the purpose of our life is to develop attraction for Krishna. And that was the verdict also pointed out in this section of Srimad Bhagvatam. So therefore, in order to be free from the clutches of Maya, we have to develop the attraction for Krishna. So here what happened, Ajamila was very attached. Because attachment has to be there. Without attachment, we cannot continue our life. So it can be material attachment, alternatively it can be spiritual attachment. We cannot live without attachment. Because attachment is the driving force of our activity. So Ajamila was attached to his youngest son. And somehow, because of the Brahminical culture, the name of that son was Narayan. And Prabhupada writes, that is the culture we should have. Giving name is very important. Even if that is the son's name, if that name is related to the name of the Lord, then by calling out the son, we can call out the name of the Lord. That is the culture. But nowadays, that culture is very quickly disappearing. But Ajamila, he kept a very good name for his youngest son, and that name was Narayan. So when he was on the deathbed, so he saw three very dangerous looking, ugly looking, or maybe fearsome personalities appeared. And they are Jamadutas, ordered carriers of Jamraj. How many of you accept that there is a personality called Jamraj? Okay, very good. And how many of you accept that Jamadutas exist? Very good. Because many people have expressed their experience also, near-death experience. So practically they saw. We also saw, but we forgot. Forgetfulness is also a mercy of the Lord. Because if you remember, very difficult. Right? We cannot continue our life. Forgetfulness is very much needed to continue our material journey. Remembrance is very important to continue our spiritual journey. Forgetfulness is also very important to continue our material journey. Because in spiritual journey, we do good things. So good memory is very favorable. But bad memories are very troublesome. So Krishna is very merciful. Whatever is needed, he provides that. So Ajamila, while he saw these three personalities coming with a rope, because they snatch away the soul from the body. That is the service of the Jamadutas. And they take that soul to Jamaraj, the court of justice. And there it is explained, we get, when the living entities go to the hellish planet, they get a special kind of body. is known as Jatana Sarir. Means we get a special kind of body where we'll have to go through all kinds of punishment, and such a severe punishment we'll go through a lot of pain, but we cannot die. In this world, if we go through a lot of trouble, people leave the body. But arrangement is so wonderful there, we don't have to do that. There is no fear of leaving the body. You can very wonderfully and nicely go through the punishment. Such a wonderful arrangement made by Jamaraj. I don't have to go into that detail. If you want to know the detail, read the last section of 5th canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. Details are available. Okay. So topic here is not hellish planets. Topic is something else. So we'll focus on that topic. So Jamadutas came, and out of fear, by seeing these three personalities, Ajamila became very fearful. And out of fear, he saw his son there next to him playing, the youngest son, Narayan. He called out his son, and he called out the name Narayan. Because he called out the name of Narayan, Narayana. That's why 4 Vishnudutas came. Interesting. So 4 Vishnudutas immediately appeared there and told the order carriers of Jamaraj that you don't have any right that to take away his soul. Jamadutas were trying to take the soul out from the body of Ajamila. Then Vishnudutas came and they stopped that process. And Jamadutas were amazed, surprised. Then this kind of experience did not occur in their life. Anybody can stop the Jamadutas. First experience. First experience. Then Vishnudutas started asking questions. Everywhere question answer is very common. So Jamadutas and Vishnudutas, question answer. So Vishnudutas started asking question. What they asked? The blessed messengers of Lord Vishnu, the Vishnudutas said, if you are actually servants of Jamaraj, you must explain to us the meaning of religious principle and the symptoms of irreligion. So Vishnudutas wanted to know what is dharma, what is adharma, what is punya, what is papa, what is pious activity, what is sinful activities. And they also asked a very beautiful question, what is the process of punishing others? Who are the actual candidates for punishment? Are all karmis engaged in fruitive activities punishable, or only some of them? Good questions, right? Because Vishnudutas know dharma, so they are asking questions which are connected with dharma. So Jamadutas started answering the question. You want to chant this verse? You should know this principle, so better to chant this verse. Jamaduta uchuhu Veda pranihita dharma Hi adharma stad viparjayaha Veda narayana saksha Swayambhur iti sushrama Jamaduta uchuhu Veda pranihita dharma Hi adharmastad viparjaya Veda narayana sakshad Swayambhur iti sushrama Veda pranihita dharma Hi adharmastad viparjaya Veda narayana saksha Swayambhur iti sushrama So here they are saying that whatever they have heard from Jamaraj, that's they are communicating. So everybody has to follow this process. If you want to know the truth, we have to approach a bona fide spiritual master. Here the Jamadutas also accept the authority. If you don't have any authority in our life, then that is not human form of life. So spiritual authority is must in our journey in this human form. So here Jamadutas are repeating what they have heard from Jamaraj. Because Jamaraj is a Mahajan, is a great spiritual personality. And it is also explained that dharma means which is prescribed in the Vedas. So accepting sadhu, guru and shastra is very, very important. These are the pramanas. Sadhu, guru and shastra. We cannot speculate. Spiritual knowledge can be speculated, cannot be speculated. That's why we have to follow this authority structure. Three authorities, you have to check three. Sadhu, Guru, Shastra. But ultimately, what is the original pramana? Shastra. But the Mahajans, whatever they speak, that also becomes Shastra. One is Shruti, the Vedas. They are self-born. Just like Lord is eternal, Vedas are also eternal. In the same way, when the realized souls, the saintly persons, pure devotees, when they speak something, that also becomes Shastra. That is known as Smriti. So here, Jamadutas are telling, which is prescribed in the Vedas constitutes dharma. Activities which are approved in Vedas are known as dharma. And which are not approved in Shastra, that is adharma. Very simple. Prescribed activities are dharma, and activities which are not prescribed in Shastra are adharma. Some people say, if I feel, that is dharma. If I don't feel, that is not dharma. Feeling is very important. Feeling is a sensation in the modern society. But whether you feel or don't feel, that is not the factor to determine something is dharma or not dharma. It is beyond our sensation and feeling. It should come from Shastra. Okay? Then what will happen? There are many witnesses. Generally, in order to establish justice, you need witness. So sometimes we can manage the witnesses in this world, right? And escape the punishment. And we are very expert in that. That's why we have to know the witnesses which are described by Jamadutas. Who are the witnesses? The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and Super Soul himself. All witness the activities of the living entity. You can escape? Huh? Sometimes we think, oh, I'll manage. These are common words. Anything happens, I'll manage it. But you can manage all this? You can manage everything, but you cannot manage the last one, Super Soul. So very difficult to manage him. Impossible to manage him. So the candidates for punishment are those who are confirmed by this many witnesses to have deviated from their prescribed regulative duties. Everyone engaged in fruitive activities is suitable to be subjected to punishment according to his sinful acts. So according to Jamadutas, everybody has to go to hell. That's why they are having enough candidates. But today, they are very upset. Why? Their candidates are taken away. So they are not getting the candidates. So Vishnudutas stop them. So the reason why Ajamila should be punished, it was very wonderfully explained by Jamadutas. There should be logic. We cannot be whimsical. So Jamadutas were not acting whimsically. Why they came to catch Ajamila? Because Ajamila was involved in sinful activities. All kinds of sinful activities he went through. And he did not go through any atonement before his death. You can be free from the Jamaduta's hand provided you go through atonement. Prabhupada gives the example, if you kill someone, then atonement also you should be killed. Then you don't have to go to Jamaraj. But people don't have any idea because they manage. But after managing here, they have to enter into hellish planets, which cannot be managed. It can be managed if you chant the name of Narayan, because Vishnudutas will manage for you. So this is the best way of managing our sin. So, in order to be free from the hands of Jamaduta, we have to take shelter of Vishnudutas. So Vishnudutas came. Why Vishnudutas came? Because he chanted the name Narayan, who is the master of Vishnudutas. He called out the master's name, so immediately the servants came to attend Ajamila. Such a wonderful way of responding, right? They are very obedient servants of Vishnu. Obedience, carrying out the order, is very, very important part of our service. We should become obedient. But nowadays, obedience is taken as slavery. We want to be independent. We want to become independent servant, which does not exist. What is independence? Independence means depending on Krishna. Dependence on Krishna is a real independence. Because Krishna doesn't control. But the master of this world controls. The master of this world, they exploit. But the real master, Krishna, he does not exploit. Why he does not exploit? Because everything belongs to him. He has no need to exploit anyone. That's why what he does? He serves. The glorious master, Krishna, he does not exploit, he serves his servants. That is the glory of the spiritual world. The servant serves the master and master serves the servant. That is the position of the spiritual world. So after hearing the explanation by Jamadutas, Vishnudutas also started explaining. Vishnudutas said, alas, how painful it is that a religion is being introduced into an assembly where religion should be maintained. Indeed, those in charge of maintaining the religious principles are needlessly punishing a sinless, unpunishable person. So after hearing the lecture on Dharma, then Vishnudutas is telling what kind of lecture you have given, but it has no connection with your activity, because you are talking about Dharma, but you are punishing a person who is sinless. Ajamila has already atoned for all his sinful actions. Indeed, he has atoned not only for sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. For in a helpless condition, he chanted the holy name of Narayan. Even though he did not chant purely, he chanted without offense, and therefore he is now pure and eligible for liberation. So here comes the most important part of this pastime. The glories of the holy name of the Lord. So there are 3 levels of chanting of the holy name. Chanting with offenses, chanting at the clearing stage. I can do 32, no problem. But after some time, removed from the job, losses in the business, then what he'll do? From 32 to 0. That is the situation of a person who chants the holy name with offenses. Material prosperity. That's why we have to chant without offenses. When we clear the offenses, that is called clearing stage, or it is popularly known as namabhas, abhas, glimpse of the holy name. And with offenses, it's not holy name actually. Namabhas is the beginning of the chanting of the holy name. So it is explained, if someone chants once at the level of namabhas, result is whatever has been explained in this verse. He has atoned not only for sins performed in one life, but for those performed in millions of lives. Not only performed, what will be performed in the future lives. One holy name, if it is chanted at the level of namabhas, the sins committed and sins to be committed, all are counteracted. Do you believe that? Do you believe? Why? Why you believe? Shastra says. Very good. Shastra has explained, and not only explained, it is also proved through the life of Ajamila. It is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur when he kept the name of his son as Narayan, when he chanted for the first time, that time he became sinless. It's not when he was chanting at the time of death. First chanting was enough to counteract his sinful reactions. That was the potency. Why? Because he chanted without offenses. Because he did not know the glories of the holy name. That's why he was at the level of Namabhas. But for us, difficulty is that we know so much. That's why we cannot be free from offenses. Committing sinful activities while chanting the holy name. So Ajamila was calling out the name of his son Narayan. At the same time, he was continuing his sinful activities. According to the direction of Padma Puran, if someone commits sinful activities on the strength of the holy name, then he is at the offensive stage. So how come Ajamila was at the clearing stage, Namabhas level? It is explained by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that Ajamila was not chanting the name of Narayan to counteract his sinful activities. He was not doing that because he did not have any idea that he was chanting the holy name also. He was indirectly chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's why it is Namabhas. And that's why he was not committing any offenses. And that's why he was free from all sinful reactions. So it is explained, although he was committing sinful activities, but reactions were not touching him. Just like Prabhupada gives the example, also it is explained here in this section of Srimad Bhagvatam, that when the poisonous teeth are taken out from a poisonous snake, even if that snake bites, there will not be any effect. And that exactly happened to the life of Ajamila. Although he was committing sinful activities, but he was not affected by the sinful reactions. Why? Because he was chanting at the level of Namabhas. And top level of chanting is Suddhanam, pure chanting. And if we chant the holy name purely, what will get? Love of Godhead. Namabhas, freedom from sinful reactions. And Suddhanam, love of Godhead. So Mahaprabhu expected that we develop love of Godhead. And the process is chanting of the holy name. So purpose of our sadhana bhakti is to awaken love of Godhead. That is the goal. Aradha Bhagavan Brajashatanayas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramma Kachit Upasana Brajavadu Vargena Jakulpita Srimad Bhagvatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartha Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam Tatradara Naparaha. The teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are explained beautifully in this verse. According to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, our worshipable Lord is Krishna in Vrindavan. And the way the gopis of Vrindavan worship Krishna is the topmost worship. And what is the proof? Srimad Bhagavatam is the proof. And what is the goal of all life? Love of Godhead. Krishna Prema. So these are the conclusions of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Very simple, very deep and topmost. So goal of our life is to awaken love of God. Whatever you are doing Mangala Arati, we are chanting the holy name, we are hearing Srimad Bhagvatam, we are doing this, we are doing that. But what is the purpose? Awaken love of God. And what is the symptom of love of Godhead? There are many symptoms, but the essential symptom, Rupa Goswami explains, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. That is a symptom. So there is no confusion in that. Someone is a pure devotee. How do you know? Somebody asked Prabhupada, he is a pure devotee, he is a pure devotee, he does this, he does that. Prabhupada said that is not the symptom. He cannot make any mistake, he has to be like this, he has to act like that. So many speculations we do. He is a pure devotee. But who is a pure devotee? Who remembers Krishna 24 hours a day. He is a pure devotee. This is the primary, most essential symptom of a pure devotee. Clear? How long he has to remember Krishna? 24 hours in a month. Okay. In a day, every day. Okay. Means continuously. He cannot forget Krishna for a moment. That is a symptom of a pure devotee. And that is the purpose. And how we can do that? Process is sadhana bhakti. That's why it is explained, Mahaprabhu has taught us very wonderfully. Bhajaner madhya shrestha navavida bhakti Krishna prem Krishna dite dhare maha shakti tar madhye sarvashrestha nam sankirtan niraparade nam loile pai prema dhan. So it is explained, Bhajaner madhya shrestha navavida bhakti. There are many processes given of sadhana. Hari Bhakti Vilas has pointed out many items of sadhana bhakti. Many. But after writing, they realize very difficult for Kali Yuga people. That's why his brother, Rupa Goswami, became more merciful. Then he compiled Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and mentioned 64 items. 64 items of devotional service. But 64 is a very difficult figure in Kali Yuga, right? If you hear about 64 rounds of the holy name, difficult, very difficult. So Rupa Goswami also understood because they could see the future. He thought, I wrote 64, what to talk about practicing 64? People cannot remember 64. So I have to reduce the number. So at the end he said, only 5 is enough. What is that? Panchanga Bhakti. 5 potent forms of devotional service. And what are these 5? Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan, Bhagvat Shravan, Mathura Vas Sri Murti, Shraddha Sevan. These are 5. Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees. Nam Kirtan, chanting of the holy name. Bhagvat Shravan, hearing Srimad Bhagvatam. Mathura Vas, residing in holy places. And worshipping the deity form of the Lord. So these are the most important 5 potent forms of devotional service. But Mahaprabhu knows 5 is also difficult. Right? That's why in this verse it is said, whatever I spoke, Bhajaner madhya shrestha navavida bhakti. 9 processes which are recommended, mentioned by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shravanam kirtanam Vishnu smaranam pada sevanam archanam vandanam dashyam sakhyam atma nivedanam. These are the 9 processes, starting with hearing and chanting. Why it is very important? Why it is topmost? Because it has the potency, great potency to give Krishna and love for Krishna. Krishna prem, Krishna dite dhare mahasakti. Tar madhye sarvashrestha nam sankirtan. But out of this 9, the topmost process is chanting of the holy name. And if one can chant without offenses, immediately he'll get love of Godhead. But only one condition, no offenses. Okay. So there are 3 aspects of problem in our journey. One is avidya, second is anartha, third is aparad. So these 3 are taken care when someone chants the holy name of the Lord purely. When we chant the holy name of the Lord at the offensive level, all 3 problems are there. We have the problem of avidya, we have the problem of anarthas, and we also have the problem of aparad. But at the namabhas, aparad is clear. But we have avidya and anarthas. But when we chant the holy name of the Lord purely, then avidya, anarthas, and aparad all are cleared. Then we experience love of Godhead. So it is explained also, prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasujata. Unless and until we come to the platform of prema bhakti, we cannot be free completely from avidya. What is avidya? Oh, so you are remembering now. Lack of sambandha gyan. Absence of sambandha gyan. So that is avidya. And that will be completely destroyed, uprooted from our heart when we attain the level of prema bhakti. When we chant the holy name of the Lord purely. But here, Ajamila chanted the holy name not at the pure level. He chanted indirectly. That's why it is namabhas. In effect, he was completely free from all sinful reactions of the past and also for the future. So karma is very intricate, very complex. It's a vicious circle. What will happen to our life? Very difficult to understand. Just like Dhritarashtra did something so many lifetimes before, reaction came. After 50 lifetimes. So we never know what kind of reaction we will get. That's why Krishna has recommended, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranang braja. But we want to manage karma also. So I tell the story that you cannot manage karma. So one man was walking on the street, he saw a restaurant. And the restaurant, it is on the board outside written, you don't have to pay the bill. Your grandson can pay the bill. So he said, very good. Anything free is always attractive. So also in the restaurant free. So he entered into the restaurant and started ordering left, right and center, all the very attractive cuisine he ordered. Then he got it, he enjoyed it, and he was very happily planning to leave the restaurant. When he was leaving, that waiter, the boy, came with a bill. He said, why you are giving the bill? It's written outside, that's why I came in. It's written that I don't have to pay the bill, my grandson will pay the bill. He said, yes, this is not your bill. This is the bill of your grandfather. So, we try to manage, but we cannot manage. That's why Krishna has recommended not to manage. Please surrender. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranang braja aham tvang sarva papyebhyo moksha Swami masuchaha. So this is the process. Otherwise, if you want to manage this, you'll be caught up. Very difficult to come out. impossible to come out. That's why process is surrender to Krishna. That is the symptom of intelligence. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvang pravattate iti matta bhajante mang buddha bhava samannita. Who can worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Who is intelligent. Krishna varnang tisha krishnang sanga pangasta parshadam jaggai sankirtane praye jajantihi sumedasa. Those who are very, very intelligent, supremely intelligent, extremely intelligent, what they will do? They will worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So chanting is the process in this age of Kali especially. So we have to chant, but only one aspect. We have to be free from offenses. So it is explained also, it is many verses are spoken by Vishnudutas glorifying the holy name. So holy name is very, very powerful, and it is Krishna himself. Kali Yuge Naam Rupe Krishna Avatar. In this age of Kali, Krishna has appeared in the form of holy name. Krishna also appeared in the form of Srimad Bhagvatam. Krishna sadamopagate dharma jnana adivisaha kalo nashta dishamesha purana arka odhuna udita. So these are two primary aspects of shelter. Krishna has appeared in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, and Krishna also has appeared in the form of the holy name. So if we really want to be free from the clutches of Maya, especially in this age of Kali, we have to take shelter of the holy name and Srimad Bhagavatam. So explanation of Vishnudutas continues. Then what happened? One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reaction of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly, to indicate something else, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. These are the ways we can chant the holy name at the level of Namabhas. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. If one chants the holy name of Hari and then dies because of an accidental misfortune, such as falling from the top of a house, slipping and suffering broken bones while traveling on the road, being bitten by a serpent, being afflicted with pain and high fever, or being injured by a weapon, one is immediately absolved from having to enter hellish life, even though he is sinful. So this is a very, very powerful message for all of us, that what kind of faith we should have. So faith in the holy name is very, very important. What is the meaning of faith? That if we chant the holy name of the Lord, if we take shelter of the holy name of the Lord, nothing else is needed. That's enough. That is the symptom of faith. Shraddha sabda vishwas kare sudhira nischay, Krishna bhakti koile sarva karma krita hai. By chanting of the holy name, everything will be achieved. That is the faith we should have. And this holy name is coming from spiritual world. Golokera premadhan harinam sankirtan. This sound is not from this material world. Maybe looks like that. But this name has not come from this world. It is coming from spiritual world. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brings that holy name, it comes from the topmost region of the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. Golokera Premadhan, Harinam Sankirtan. The holy name given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can give love of Godhead, and it can take us to the topmost region of the spiritual world. In RR Kali Yuga, this is not available. You have to understand that. Chanting of the holy name is Yuga Dharma in any Kali Yuga. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes, he gives something extra which cannot be given by any other Yuga avatar. So holy name is very powerful. Holy name can liberate you. Holy name can take you back home, back to Godhead. But what Mahaprabhu has given is Prem Sankirtan. By chanting the holy name of the Lord given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we can get love for Krishna. And that will take us to the topmost region of the spiritual world, Goloka Vrindavan. That is a difference also. We have to recognize and understand that, and also try to recognize our great fortune, that we have got the opportunity to chant the holy name of the Lord, and that holy name which has been given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then what happened to Ajamila? By the instruction of Vishnudutas, Jamadutas, they gave it up. What to do? And immediately they went to their in charge, Jamaraj, and reported what exactly happened. Reporting is very important. Any service without reporting is incomplete. If you do any service and if you don't report, then that service is not recognized. Very important principle. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Nityananda Prabhu and Haridas Thakur to preach Krishna consciousness, they used to give report every day. When Srila Goswamis, it will not be discussed this time because no time. The next chapter, first chapter and second chapter talk about Ajamila's deliverance, and third chapter talks about the conversation between Jamaraj and Jamadutas, counseling session. Because Jamadutas were discouraged, depressed, because they failed in their services. So don't become discouraged. What's your duty? Whether you pass or fail, whether you succeed or fail, go and report to the authorities. Then your duty is over. So now what happens to Ajamila? When Ajamila was trying to say something, immediately Vishnudutas disappeared. Then Ajamila came to his consciousness. And 4 levels of journey Ajamila went through. What is the reaction of a person when he gets the association of a saintly person? So, because of the association of a wrong thing, Ajamila lost all of his Brahminical qualities. Now, at the time of death, he had the opportunity to associate with Vishnudutas. Satsanga. A satsanga had one kind of impact in his life, which we already discussed in detail. Now we are going to discuss what happened to Ajamila after he had the opportunity to associate with Vishnudutas, Sadhu Sangha. So 4 kinds of things we analyzed happened in the life of Ajamila. First is lamentation. Second is rectification. Third is purification. And fourth is perfection. So as soon as he came to his senses, he could remember what happened to him. He could then remember his past sinful activities, and he started regretting what he did. Oh, being a Brahmana, I married a prostitute. I begot my children from the prostitute who was drinking also alcohol, and I rejected my wife. I abandoned my parents. He was lamenting. Repentance, lamentation is very, very important aspect. And Prabhupada says in the purport that a devotee should always be in that kind of consciousness that what a sinful man I am. Bhakti Vinod Thakur also says that, Amar jivan sada paperato nahito punnerolas. Jivere udbeg diyachi je kato, jivere diyachi kles. So this is the mood of a Vaishnava. Although Bhakti Vinod Thakur is a pure devotee, he was lamenting. And he was also singing, Osuro sakol pailo charan, binoda thakilo bosi. Gopinath, ami ki doshe doshe. He's saying that all the demons, they were delivered by you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But Bhakti Vinod, he is not at the level of demon also. He is worse than a demon. Why? Because demons got delivered, but Bhakti Vinod is still not delivered. That is the mood. Rup Sanatan, they are telling, we are more sinful than Jagai and Madhai. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is expressing that I am more sinful, more insignificant than insect in the stool. This is the natural consciousness of a person who are lamenting and who are advancing in Krishna consciousness. So, Ajamila, as soon as he gained this consciousness, he started lamenting for his sinful activity. So, committing mistake is not a problem. But we have to accept the mistake. And after accepting, we have to repent. Then rectify. And then don't repeat. So, it's very, very important principle. Accepting mistake is very important. Generally, we always want to justify. I have not made the mistake. It is because of somebody. Accepting mistake is very important principle. Then after accepting, lamenting. Then after lamenting, we should not lament whole life. We have to rectify. And after that, don't repeat the same mistake. So Ajamila was lamenting how I did so many abominable things. Then after that, he started the process of rectification. He said, I should not be here. I should give up this place. And he said, because of a maid-servant association, because of a moment's association with devotees, the Vishnudutas, Ajamila detached himself from the material conception of life with determination. Thus, freed from all material attraction, he immediately started for Haridwar. So, he started rectifying. Then what he did in Haridwar? In Haridwar, Ajamila took shelter of a Vishnu temple, where he executed the process of Bhakti Yoga. He controlled his senses and finally applied his mind in the service of the Lord. Ajamila finally fully engaged in devotional service. Thus he detached his mind from the process of sense gratification and become fully absorbed in thinking of the form of the Lord. Then he attained perfection. When his intelligence and mind were fixed upon the form of the Lord, the Brahmana Ajamil once again saw before him 4 celestial persons, Vishnudutas. He could understand that they were those he had seen previously, and thus he offered them his obeisances by bowing down before them. Upon seeing the Vishnudutas, Ajamila gave up his material body at Haridwar on the bank of the Ganges. He regained his original spiritual body, which was a body appropriate for an associate of the Lord. And that is the last stage of his perfection. What's happening to him? We can chant this verse together. Sakam viha asa vipra Mahapurusha kinkarai Haimam vimanam aruhya Jajo yatra sriyapatihi Sakam viha asa vipra Mahapurusha kinkarai Haimam vimanam aruhya Jaja yatra sriyapatihi Sakam vya asa vipra Mahapurusha kinkarai Haimam vimanam aruhya Jaja yatra sriyapatihi. Translation. Accompanied by the order carriers of Lord Vishnu, Ajamila boarded an air. Passing through the airways, he went directly to the abode of Lord Vishnu, the husband of the goddess of fortune. So it happened to the life of Ajamila. It's happening. And it can happen for all of us, provided we follow the same process. Then we can also, we'll have the same destination. So, flying is the best way to reach the destination. Right? Best way to travel is flying. So, it's Vaikuntha airline. And this flight is made of gold, golden plane. And you don't have to pay any money. You just have to have one qualification. Just you should have love of Godhead. That is a boarding pass. So that love of Godhead is the qualification to board that plane. And it is explained that in a moment you will reach the Vaikuntha planet. In a moment. Just sit down and rest. That is for the devotees. But those who want to go through yoga process, it will take little more time. So yoga process, varnashram dharma, then you will go to maximum Brahma Loka. And from Brahma Loka, you can go at the time of annihilation, along with Brahma, you can go back to Vaikuntha. But it is also explained, Abrahma Bhuvanang Loka. It means that not everyone will go. There is a chance of falling down also. But from this plane, looks like you will not fall down. So better board this plane. And process is render pure devotional service, and especially in this age of Kali, chant the holy name of the Lord and purify yourself and become perfect, being situated in love of Godhead then you will be allowed to board the plane, and immediately you can enter into the spiritual world. And that was the journey of Ajamila. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantharaj Srimad Bhagvatam ki, Srila Sakirtan movement ki, Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Any question or comment? Because I have kept some time, because today is the concluding day.
Thank you, sir, for the wonderful talk. I had just one question. So, taking the holy name definitely helps us pure ourselves. But at the same time, we also spoke about the fact that, we have to surrender to God. And there are several circumstances in our life where we'll have multiple options to choose from. In such a circumstance, will taking the name of the divine help? And if so, how?
What's your question? Frame the question.
Let's say we have multiple options to choose from. We have surrendered to God, but then we still have to choose from one of these options.
Yeah, life is all about making choice. You have to choose what you want.
Will taking the name of the...
It's up to you. It's Lord's business to tell you. These are the options. Options of karma, options of jnana, options of bhakti. And accordingly, we have to choose. If you choose karma, you will get one kind of destination. If you choose jnana, you will get another kind of destination. And if you choose bhakti, you will get another kind of destination. Krishna will never force you to choose. It's up to us to make the choice. Arjuna made the choice to surrender to Krishna completely. So that is the symptom of intelligence. Those who are intelligent, they follow the intelligent and act intelligently. Hare Krishna. They don't waste time. Next, yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Maharaji, like in the last class we discussed that those who have taken shelter of the Lord, Lord takes care of him. Then they are free from anxiety. But for case like me, I am seeing that I am not able to chant properly, not able to hear Mangalarti, not able to follow the process nicely, being lazy in spiritual life. So why will Krishna take care of?
Why?
Then how Krishna will take care?
Depending on you, how much lazy you are, depending on that, Krishna will take care. So, depends how much we want Krishna to take care, that much Krishna will take care. If you are 25% surrender, Krishna will take care 25%. If you are 50% surrender, Krishna will take care 50%. If you are 75% surrender, then Krishna will take care 75%. And if you are 100%, Krishna will take full responsibility. It's up to you. Krishna is ready, but Prabhupada said we are not ready. So when you are ready, tell
How
Krishna.
to be ready?
Huh?
How to be ready?
You can tell now. It's a moment. Krishna, I am ready. Krishna is always ready. This is the process of surrender. It will not happen in one day, but you have to start the process. Okay? And process of surrender become faster when you are in good association. Ajamila immediately surrendered completely. Why? Because of the powerful association of Vishnudutas. So if you have powerful association, immediately you can surrender. He woke up and immediately went to Haridwar. Dhruva Maharaj immediately left the palace, went to Vrindavan. They did not waste time. Parikshit Maharaj immediately gave up, came to the bank of Ganges. Sukadev Goswami, immediately after birth, he went to the forest. Okay, they don't waste time. But we are very, what I can say, we are very expert in wasting our time. So it's our choice. Okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji.
Which side?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji. Thank you for this wonderful lecture.
Speak little louder. Bring the mic little closer. Hopefully it will be louder.
Okay. Maharaj Ji, now my voice is audible. Yeah. Maharaj Ji, my question is that, like you said, while chanting there are 3 stages. One is with offense, other one is Namabhas, and third is pure chanting. So what are the symptoms of a devotee who is at Namabhas stage of chanting, or when he gradually reaches that stage? So what are the symptoms of such a devotee, or what are realizations of such a devotee?
Symptom of a devotee at the Namabhas level, or what level you are talking?
Namabhas level, Maharaj Ji.
Namabhas level, he is liberated. Means he will not be touched by any sinful activity of this world. He will be sinless. He is liberated. The symptom of a person who is chanting at the level of Namabhas, he is free from the material world.
That means he will not feel any kind of attraction towards
any
material
actions
things.
of this world will touch him. He will be untouched by the modes of material nature. That is a position of a person who chants the holy name of the Lord at the level of Namabhas. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji.
If you want to know in detail, Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a book, Harinam Chintamani. So there he explains in detail what are the symptoms of Nama, chanting with offenses, what are the symptoms of Namabhas, what is the symptom of Shaddhanam. He has explained in detail. Where?
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji. Maharaj Ji, in the last you told about the good fortune of Ajamil, how he got the association of saintly person. Then you told the 4 steps regarding rectification, purification, and perfection. So Maharaj, my question is regarding this. Like I see that just like you told that we have to not just lament, but we have to take actions as well. But many times confusion comes that we are committing same type of mistake, and our superiors who are taking care of us, they have also instructed us that we have to do this to avoid same type of mistake. But still, we are not able to follow those instructions. So oftentimes this discouragement comes that what actions I have to take, because the advice which we are already getting, that we are not able to follow. So that why we are committing same mistake, we are regretting again and again, but not able to follow. So what should be done?
What should be done? For what?
For to take the right
For
action.
repeating or no?
To not committing the same mistake again, because we are regretting and we are getting the instruction but not able to follow.
Why you are repeating? It can happen because of our nature. Because although you want to do, just like Arjuna says to Krishna, I don't want to commit sin, but still it's happening. Why? Because of Rajoguna. So we have some very strong impression in our character, which is very difficult to change. That's why we commit some mistakes again and again. But Prabhupada says that mistakes also has different levels. Just like someone came to Prabhupada and he was addicted to smoking. And giving it up immediately is difficult. So example is given, if you are smoking 30 cigarettes every day, so you can start 29, 28, 27, then gradually you come to a level to no smoking. That's called sincerity. At the same time, you are not fully sincere because you are not able to give it up immediately because of your addiction. At the same time, you are taking sincere steps to reduce it. So you have to be sincere according to your capacity. So we can commit some mistake, but your sincerity should be there to reduce it.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, Maharaj Ji.
And that will happen when you are in good association. Those who are not committing that mistake, if you are in that association, then it will be easy for you to follow that. But if you are in a bad association, it's not in a good association, even if you try, it will be difficult for that person to change that because he is not a good association. Okay? Karana guna sangasya. Association is very important. Yes. Raising hand, and who can get the mic, please, somebody coordinate.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, I have a question that when we see the story of Ajamila, so what actually brought that good fortune unto him that he actually remembered Lord and chanted Namabhas? Matlab, we hear from his story, earlier also he must have chanted many times Narayana before being so degraded. Earlier he must have chanted. And we just see that generally in the normal life, we see situation, people, they become degraded, then they eventually they fall down deeper and deeper. But what was that essence? Like, some devotees say that some sadhus came and he blessed them. So, but like you can enlighten more on this point.
There are many, you cannot make in box, but certain things happen. Ajamila was not a sinful person from the beginning. He was a qualified person. He was spiritually qualified. He was a Brahmana, not a Brahmana by namesake. But somehow he could not maintain that because of bad association. That's why Krishna says, who is surrendered to him, Krishna will take care of him. So that's why he took care. Salpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahata bhayat. Papiche sudharachara bhajate mamananna bhak. There are many verses in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna says, if someone takes up the process of devotional service, even if he falls down, actually he does not fall down. He'll come back. That is the glory of devotional service. That's why Ajamila came back. So somehow we have to engage people in devotional service. That is the purpose of life of the sadhus. Somebody asked Prabhupada, what fortune we had that we are doing devotional service? Prabhupada said, you never had any fortune. I created the fortune in your life. So sadhus, they create fortune. So Ajamila had that fortune. He had the spiritual master. He did service under his guidance. So he was having a very wonderful life, but he fell down.
Maharaj, it means like earlier he was not a ritualistic performer, but he was actually practicing spirituality.
The problem is that we always think, who can do devotional service? Only devotees in ISKCON. That is the problem we think. Nobody else outside of ISKCON can render devotional service. He was a Brahmana means he does devotional service. Okay. Brahmana means who worship Vishnu. He was not a Karmakandi Brahmana. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, my question is that at what stage of chanting this tendency to commit sin goes? Because many times I myself see in my life and many devotees, they are chanting but simultaneously committing many sinful activities.
Aparad, when you are at the level of offensive chanting. That is the level.
It takes a lot of time, I think.
Huh?
It takes a lot of time.
Depends what kind of practice you are doing. It can take millions of lifetime, it can take 1 minute, it can take 1 moment, it can take 1 lifetime, depending on what kind of commitment you have.
Maharaj, it seems like surrender is also not just 1 moment it is possible to do. Although,
Depends on you. Arjuna immediately surrendered completely. Parikshit Maharaj immediately surrendered completely.
but they were very elevated souls.
Yeah, if you want to be elevated, then follow them. Prabhupada said at least 1 lifetime. Don't go beyond that. It's up to us now, you have to be ready. If you're ready, anytime it can happen.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, this...
He is raising hand for a long time. He is not getting the opportunity. Okay, you catch. There is also mic.
Okay. So, Maharaj, we see this pastime happened in Satya Yuga, but nowadays...
How do you know it happened in Satya Yuga?
I think...
Who told you? I want to know the reference. I am not getting the reference when it happened.
I also don't know, but I heard from some Vaishnavas.
So there should be, I want to know, somebody says in other Kali Yuga it happened, or someone says in Satya Yuga. I am to know when it happened. Anybody has any information on that? There's a difference of opinion on this pastime, when it happened. So holy name means one opinion is this must be Kali Yuga. So some say in previous Kali Yuga it happened. Someone says it happened in Satya Yuga. But it did not happen in this Kali Yuga, that is clear. Okay, continue.
So my question is, Maharaj, many students, they come to us and they complain or they ask ki how to come out this temptation, because they go to the college and they have a like mobile and they fall down on the pornography and all, and opposite genders also. So basically, how, although they are practicing 16 round and all, but how they can come out from the temptation which is very much prominent.
There are different levels of precautions, but Mahaprabhu has recommended asatsanga tyag. If you stay in that association, tendency will be strong. That's why you have to be very careful. Prabhupada also explained that devotees are becoming victimized by Maya because they are not careful. We have to be very, very careful. We have to be fearful. If you take it very easily, then we can become victimized very easily. One thing is practicing chanting of the holy name. At the same time, we have to follow other principles also strictly. And if you don't follow that, even if you chant the holy name, you are not ready as Thakur. So definitely, you will become Ajamila. So we have to be very careful. So pornography and other tendencies are coming from the root of lusty desires. So lusty desires are coming from mode of passion. So we have to reduce our passion, come to the platform of goodness. If you don't want to come to the mode of goodness, at the same time we want to be free from temptation, how it is possible? So you have to change our modes. That's why you have to practice whatever has been discussed in the second chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. Sitang Satya Prasiddhati. We have to situate ourselves in the mode of goodness. Unless and until someone is in the mode of goodness, this tendency will be very strong. Okay?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, this pastime of Ajamila, here we saw you are explaining because he has kept the name of his child as on the God's name, Narayan. He was very much benefited. But I am not able to get full faith on this. How? Because Maharaj, we see many families in India, those who are having their children's name on the name of God, but we don't think any special thing happening in their life like
How
that.
do you know? Because it's not written in Bhagavatam. How do you know it's not happening?
मतलब वो डिवोटी नहीं बनते ऐसे जैसे अजामिल इतने अच्छे डिवोटी
अजामिल का आपको तुरंत पता चल गया, इसीलिए आपको लग रहा है हो रहा है. कुछ और कोई वक्त का थोड़ा देर हो रहा है, इसको मतलब नहीं हो रहा है. ये कैसे बता रहे हो? जो भगवान के साथ संबंध बनाएगा उसका तो परफेक्शन आएगा ही. Just a matter of time. Maybe it's taking little more time. Ajamila was little fast. Plane came very quickly. Others are taking long time, but doesn't mean that it's not happening. It's definitely happening. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you very much for the class, Maharaj. Maharaj, I once happened to hear conversation between two devotees. Both the devotees are like 16 rounders chanting Mahamantra. First devotee was talking to the second devotee that the kind of problems you are facing in your house, in your home, because of the Pitras, they are not satisfied. You are not performing any Pitr Praksha related rituals. So you should do that. I was getting this doubt from this section of Ajamila, like we hear holy name, like when devotees are chanting holy name, they can get rid of all such ritualistic performances. The same thing, the second devotee also said that we are practicing devotional service. The first devotee said, are we practicing in that pure platform? So we should also respect these rituals and we should do. So, and this is just one example. There are many such rituals there.
So you have to follow the authorities. Our ultimate authority, our parampara is Mahaprabhu. So Mahaprabhu himself did Pitri Shraddha at Gaya. We should not think that we are better devotees than Mahaprabhu because I am chanting 16 rounds. So that is the problem. We think that by chanting 16 rounds we have become pure devotee. So those who are pure devotees, they also perform to set example. And those who are not pure devotees, they must perform because that's needed. But in any case, Mahaprabhu personally did Priti Shraddha, so we have to follow that. Okay? Whether they are disturbing you or not. That's our duty.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji, one small doubt I have, like
Small, very good.
One doubt is that.
Bataiye.
Doubt is there, like the chanting process is like we have to chant the holy name and hear it without any full concentration. Properly, we have to hear it. But most of the time, also after the 10 offenses, we say it is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. But most of the time, almost like for me, 2-3 rounds or in between the rounds, I am able to hear it. My mind goes here and there. Most of the time, it goes for planning the day. What are the services are there? So these things come in between. So I am this is the mistake I am doing. I am accepting it. Lamentation is also there. Trying to rectify it, but that don't repeat. Repetition is there. Just I am trying to rectify. But so you also told about the levels, level 1, level 2, level. So level 2 in Namabhas, you told there the chanting begins, and the level 1 chanting with offenses. So where I am, it comes under chanting with offenses or
where you are. So that needs some close supervision.
means it is also coming under like chanting with offenses and.
You should check. There are 10 offenses listed out. If you are committing, then you are at the offensive level. There are 10 offenses, na?
Being inattentive.
Being inattentive. Other than that, that is the root cause of other 10 offenses. So you should check that or the 10 offenses, whatever are mentioned in Padma Puran, you are free from that or not. It's very clearly, we read every day, no? So check it out. Then you'll understand what level you are. It's very difficult to understand. No?
It's very difficult. You have to like consult also.
Very difficult to understand or very difficult
by
to...
own self.
Huh?
It is difficult. You have to consult also some senior devotees.
What is difficult?
Means mind, something you can...
No. It is difficult to understand what kind of aparadha you are doing. Check the list, your checklist, 10 checklist is there. So you have to check what are the things is happening or not happening. First is Vaishnava aparadha, you are blaspheming the devotees or not. What kind of faith you have in the Lord. Third is how much you are obeying the order of the spiritual master. There are lists. So if you are following it properly, then you are free from 10 offenses. If you are not, then you are committing offenses. And if you are inattentive, that is a proof that offenses are happening. Those who are attentive, they are free from offenses. Those who are offensive, they cannot be attentive, connected. Because inattentive chanting is the root cause of all the offenses. Okay?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Which side?
Hare Krishna.
Achha.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, as you mentioned that inattentive chanting is the root cause of all the offenses.
I am not telling, I am repeating what has been spoken by previous
Yes,
authorities.
Maharaj. So I was just a little bit confused that the chanting of Ajamila is considered as an offenseless chanting when he was chanting. But we also see that he was not actually referring to the Lord Narayan, he was actually calling out his son. So how come this chanting is considered at a second stage chanting, and how is it considered offenseless?
Because he was not committing any offenses, that's why he is offenseless. He was not, the offenses which are described in Padma Puran, he was not doing it.
Means Maharaj, inattentive chanting is not considered among those...
He was not inattentive, he was very attentive. But why he is not doing Suddhana? Because he was not directly connected to the Lord. Because he was directly connected to the Son. That's why it's Namabhas. If that level chanting was happening at the level of Suddhanam, if he was connected with the Lord. But offense is not there in his life. He is free from offenses.
Means Maharaj, if we are chanting and if we are attentive about something else, not about actual Lord, then also it is considered attentive.
No, excellent, very interesting point you are making. Tell.
Means if we are chanting and if we are attentive about something else, not about the actual Lord.
It will not happen to you because you already know. So Ajamil's level you will not achieve. Because you know so much. Advantage of Ajamil was that he was not knowing so much.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Sometimes too much knowing is difficult. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Next.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Maharaj, one question I just was
Which
there.
side? Here also, there also, which side? Again, okay.
Maharaj, like the Yamdutas have the closest proximity of a great Mahajan, Yamraj. So in our case, at practical level, the association of devotees which Krishna has provided us, so at the neophyte stage, we are not able to discriminate the divisions like Rup Goswami has given, that some Vaishnavas we have to not associate but respect from distance, and some we have to associate. And at our level, always the senior devotees association is not present. So seeing the current circumstances, how we can make best use of the provided association and advance?
You said so much. You want to know so much. So you can summarize it, the essence. What's your question?
In a way, like in the essence, I wanted to ask the association that Krishna has provided us. Sometimes we are in that association, but actually we are not taking it, just like it is mechanical only.
Mechanical. That's your problem or association's problem?
That is my problem.
So change that. Don't become mechanical. But people say, why we are mechanical? Because mechanical is very natural for us. Because we are spending most of the time with what? Machines. That's why we become mechanical. So we treat machines the way we, because we are treating the machines most of the time. That's why when you are dealing with the human beings, you also treat them as machines. That's why you become mechanical. That is the main problem. You have to spend time with living beings, not with machines much. Then we can be free from mechanical approach. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
What yes?
But sometimes, Maharaj, what happens that in office, like all day the work is with laptop.
Yeah, what you can do, that's the way you want it to be. And we are happy with that also. And we think that is the only way. Right? Somebody asked, I think in UK, that you have to go back home, back to Godhead. And he was very attached to newspaper. He said, newspaper is there in the spiritual world? He said, no. So better not to go there. So now I think newspaper is not so important. Now it's smartphone. If Krishna says there is no smartphone in the spiritual world, we may choose better not to go there. Right? So you have to choose what we want. Okay? Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaj Ji. Maharaj Ji, you discussed that Prabhupada Ji told that we should report our devotional services. But sometimes if we report to someone, it looks like that we want to get some credit of our work. But we want to get some credit of our work. But in Gita, it explained that karmanyavadhikarasya ma phalesya kadachana. Then how to deal with that?
No, question is whether to report or not, or whether to get credit or not. Two aspects. I talk that reporting is very important. But you are telling getting credit is a problem. Yeah, both are problem. So which problem you want me to discuss?
I want to know, we report but not feel that we want to get credit.
Yeah.
And how to deal with.
So what's your question? How to be free from?
To getting, willing to get credit.
Okay, that's your purpose, no? Not that how to get rid of reporting system. Because you are thinking by reporting, you develop the desire of recognition. That's not exactly true. If you report properly, then you get the opposite, that I am not doing it. Reporting means your authority is doing it. You become the instrument. That is the purpose of reporting. By reporting, you are conveying, I am not the doer, you are the doer. That is the purpose of reporting. So by doing that, you can be free from the problem of accepting credit. That's why we should report.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. Thank you for such a wonderful class. Maharaji, you told that when the Ajamil chanted, the first time he named his child Narayan, at that time he freed from all the sinful activities because of the Namabhas. So Maharaji, we see in India like the Ram, Krishna names are very common and people don't know about the glories of the holy name. So they come across the name of Ram and Krishna. So at that time they free from all the like they do the Anamabhas and they get freedom from means they get liberated and the modes of nature does not act. But we find that the like past sinful, like by a kundli or something, that because they are suffering because of some past activities. So how it is?
What's your question? Summarize. You told so many points. What exactly is the confusion and what thing you want to?
My question is, Maharaji, people who like who has chanted, who doesn't know the glories of the holy name, but they chanted it and it would be a Namabhas stage, but still the sinful activities from the past lives act on them.
It is explained by Haridas Thakur. At the level of Namabhas, you can counteract the sins which are being committed and will be committed in the future. That is the power of Namabhas. এক হরিনামে যত পাপ হরে কোনো পাপীর সাধ্য নাই তত পাপ করে. Haridas Thakur said that. That is also supported by Shastra. If someone chants at the level of Namabhas, that is enough, one time, that is enough to counteract the sins committed in the past and to be committed in the future. That is the power of Namabhas. Huh? Why they are still suffering?
Yes.
You have to, maybe they are not at the level of Namabhas. How do you know they are at the level of Namabhas? You have to check whether they are at the level of Namabhas or not. Okay?
Maharaji, just one question. Somebody earlier knows the glories of the name, but he somehow forgets the glories of the holy name. Like earlier life he knows, and this life he doesn't knows the glory of the holy name. Then also the Namabhas will act.
You are more attracted to Namabhas, looks like. But our goal is to chant the holy name purely. Namabhas is not the goal of our life. But Ajamila did not come back to Godhead by Namabhas. He went to Haridwar, took shelter of a Vishnu temple, took shelter of a Vaishnava and practiced sadhana bhakti. That you should follow. You should not be enamored by this Namabhas. Our purpose of life is to chant purely. Okay?
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. So, Maharaji, my question is from the previous class. So, as you told in the previous class, lust is the root cause of this material existence, and love is the root cause for the spiritual world. So, there was a first time when I heard about that soul, we are the soul or the body, and got to know about the nature of the soul. So now in the previous class, I got to know that lust is the material cause of the existence, and we cannot transcend to the spiritual world until we overcome this lust. So now there is I started seeing as earlier everyone. I was seeing to everyone as a little pure as I got to know soul. So I now got to know that everyone is lusty. So there is a mix of something that there is a difficulty in seeing others as seeing as a soul and all absence.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. So instead of seeing others, try to see yourself. That is the purpose of spiritual life. Introspect. Material life means seeing others. Spiritual life means
Seeing yourself.
seeing yourself. So internalize your focus. Then this problem will be much less. That is the problem. We want to see everyone to be perfect. Because I am the most perfect. That is the problem. So we have to change it. I am the most fallen, therefore I should focus on me first. In the flight, it is announced, before helping others, use your own oxygen mask, right?
Yes.
Please do that.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. कब तक चलेगा? आप पीछे से पूछते हो, ठीक है?
हरे कृष्णा महाराज जी।
बोलिए।
मुझे ये डाउट आ रहा था कि
अंग्रेजी में बोलिए, क्लास अंग्रेजी में हो रहा है, बोलिए, ठीक है?
हिंदी में बोल सकते?
जो भी इच्छा।
ओके। तो अजामिल के साथ तो मतलब नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस हुआ, तब जाके उसका मतलब तब उसको कॉन्शियसनेस आया कि अरे हाँ अभी करना चाहिए, सीरियस होना चाहिए। हम लोग कैसे बिना नियर डेथ एक्सपीरियंस करे सीरियस हो सकते हैं?
तो एक प्रपोजल डालिए भगवान को and humbly request the Lord to give the near-death experience. तो अच्छा रहेगा. You have to know that every journey has has its own flavor. It's not that everybody has to go through near-death experience. Parikshit Maharaj never went through near-death experience. Right? But you are attracted by near-death experience. To become serious, we have to get the kick. And Krishna will definitely make sure you'll get the kick. So Ajamila got the very heavy kick from Jamadutas. That's why he got perfection very quickly also. So depends when you want to achieve the perfection. If you want the perfection quickly, then you have to be ready for kicks. Okay? Near-death experience is one kind of kick. There are all varieties available. So maybe in next class I can explain. Okay? Very well.
Hare Krishna.
But kicks are important.
We'll take last question. Santosh.
Yes, thank you so much.
My question is that a person who is oftenly chanting Namaparad, can he sometimes chant Namabhas or Sudhanam? Because and is Namabhas sufficient enough that to get rid of all sinful tendency?
Sinful?
Tendencies. Because
No, sinful tendency, generally yes, it is not so clear, but he is free from all sinful reactions. Just like Ajamila, he was continuing his sinful activities, but he was not affected by that. So there is no reaction.
But the tendency is not tendency.
But I don't know clearly. I have to see the reference. Even at the Namabhas, you are free from sinful desires also. I heard, but I cannot give a reference. Okay.
And person who is in the stage of Namaprat, can he at sometimes chant Namabhas and again come back? Or Namabhas is a permanent stage?
You want to do like that?
No, I am.
What is the purpose of this question?
That it is a gradual progression, or it is a sometimes again we go.
So when you are free from offenses, you come to the Namabhas level. It's very clear. When you are free from anarthas and avidya, you are the Suddhanam. Namabhas means no offense. But you are not pure because you have anarthas. So very clearly explained. Okay?
Hare Krishna.
ओ हाथ उठा रहे हैं बहुत देर से,
Okay, last one will take.
दुखी हो जाएंगे तो अपराध अजामिल लेवल पे हम लोग पहुंच नहीं पाएंगे। ठीक है, बोलिए।
Hare Krishna Maharaj ji, thank you so much for giving me a chance to ask you a question. My question is this, that if a person knows all the potencies and glories of name but still feeling sleepy while chanting 16 rounds in one sit, so what are the tips for him?
What?
What are the tips for him?
Tips?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Stay awake.
How?
Huh?
How?
How to stay awake?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes, Maharaj.
That's a big question. That is a very big question. That is the main austerity, Prabhupada said. Somebody asks how to chant purely, but most important than that, to stay awake. Pure chanting is far, but stay awake is very difficult. Why we cannot stay awake? Because of the ignorance. Mode of ignorance is very powerful. That's why we feel sleepy.
How to reduce that mode?
Mode of ignorance is all systematically explained in the second chapter of the first canto of Srimad Bhagvatam. How you can situate yourself in the mode of goodness, the journey. There is a series of verses explained how we can situate ourselves in the mode of goodness. So when we are in the mode of goodness, then we can hear attentively and don't feel sleepy.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you.
Okay, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna! So let us thank Maharaj for giving us his valuable association from the last 3 days, every morning on the life of Ajamil, and taking out so many beautiful lessons for all of us. In the first day, from the question of Parikshit Maharaj, his compassion, and the type of questions we learned from that. In the second class, we learned how lust can counteract lust, that wonderful formula Maharaj gave to all of us. And today's Maharaj told how Ajamil way of perfection, how he reached the perfection through a beautiful conversation of Vishnu Dutas and Yam Dutas and the power of the holy name. And would also like to thank Maharaj for taking out such beautiful question answer, answering so many doubts of devotees. So let us thank Maharaj by loudly chanting one time Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much for tolerating me for 3 consecutive days. Every day almost 2 hours, right? Thank you so much for your practicing of tolerance. So that is one of the qualifications to chant purely. So you have gone through some proper practice. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
We would request Maharaj ki Maharaj in next camp also, if you can be there.
What time?
God Purnima camps are there.
Yeah. A lot of time is